I believe this is a watershed moment for pickleball. I think this is going to change everything. I do believe that pickleball will be the fastest growing sport, not just in the world, but like Asia is going to take it by storm. What we're trying to create here is it's a once in a generation opportunity for us. I think it's basically trying to come in and affect change at a level which is global. So pickleball is actually a sport which combines a few of the racket sports which we all love. So table tennis, badminton, squash, and it takes some of the elements from each of these sports and brings into one coordinated sport, which is pickleball. And that's why it's so unique. The history of pickleball. So pickleball is actually a very young sport. It was invented way back in 1965 in a backyard in Bainbridge Island. And the inventor of the sport, essentially, there's a story which goes that the sport was named after his dog, Mr. Pickles, but actually it's not true. His mother named the sport. 2019 onwards, pickleball expanded internationally, and also within the US, it grew dramatically. During the pandemic, people started playing a lot more pickleball, and I think the transformative growth or the inorganic exponential growth happened during that time when people experienced the sport. And as soon as that ended, the sport kind of went from a couple of million players to 6 million players to 8 million players to 15 million players to now 48 million players in the US and 6 million players in the rest of the world. You got everybody playing pickleball, talking about pickleball. You had a podcast in India with Nikhil Kamath where Bill Gates talked about pickleball, playing pickleball. You have athletes talking about pickleball. You have CEOs talking about pickleball. The sport by itself is gaining momentum, specifically in the Asian continent where China and India are kind of leading the way. But I think as it comes into the GCC, it's going to have a huge impact here as well. 48.3 million Americans, 6 million people in the rest of the world, 669,000 average exhibition pickleball event viewerships. It's one of the few sports where there's a high women participation level. The potential for the sport is huge across the globe, right? So 100 million is expected in China. We expect India to have 30 million. We expect, UAE, Saudi to come in and participate in a big way. I think, this is where we feel that Asia has an affinity for racket sports. This is an easy sport to pick up. So we feel as a participative sport, this is going to expand phenomenally. These are the biggest markets across the globe. We've just adding the Middle East, so we wanted to put it in there as a potential. We've got the Pickleball World Cup happening in Peru, which is a Pickleball World Ranking event. We've got events happening in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, India, Thailand, Vietnam, China. And across the globe, it's just exponentially growing. Amongst the racket sports, pickleball already is the number 4 sport after badminton, table tennis, and paddle. This is the pyramid of what we're basically launching today. Pickleball World Series is at the top of the pyramid, as you can see. The World Series is basically your top pro event. It's going to be akin to the Grand Slams for tennis. And that's our hope is that it's already going to be the biggest prize money event, also becomes the biggest watched and the most watched event for pickleball in the world. This is our ranking system basically. This is what governs all the world tours, all the slams, everything. Pickleball World Ranking provides a platform for NGBs, for tournament operators, for everybody across the globe to come on a single platform so that they can qualify for the top events in the globe. So the World Tour is essentially part of some of the events that we'll own and operate, and also some of the events that we're going to sanction. If you look at it, the Canadian Pro Tour, National Pickleball League in Australia, Pickleball World Cup. We already did the Collegiate Tour in China. We're trying to build a whole ecosystem across the world for our rankings to become sort of the legitimate rankings for people to play. With this, we're able to encompass the whole 360-degree ecosystem. We're able to, from amateurs to professionals, there's something available for everybody. Total prize money for the World Series is going to be more than $9 million. This is the highest prize money ever in the sport of pickleball.